Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. Yeah, it's Sunday morning, and those of you that are in the UK, you'll know it's blowing a real gale out there, just in time for my 10k. Thank you, thanks for that, much appreciated. I've got a bit of a cold. I'm not going to moan anymore about that. I'm just gonna take it on. You know, these you're never going to be perfect condition going into any race. It's very rare anyway, so but today I'm going to be wearing the Alphafly, the Alphafly 3. Here you go, this shoe. I got the crimson colorway, I think it is. I quite like it. It's kind of like clean, quite nice. I prefer it to the, you know, the Volt Luminous thing. And yeah, I want to see how it goes, performs. I ran with it to Ali Pali recently and it did a really good job. You know, I felt like I got really quick turnover with the shoe and it kind of suited my running style. You know, at first I didn't like it at all, actually. It's so firm and like unresponsive, but all of a sudden, you know, I went down some hills and the foam seemed to break in, or the pods or something, and it would completely changed. So we'll see what it's like on the run today. It's windy. I'm not sure I'm going to get my PB that I hope for, but I'll give it a shot. Even in the wind, it's possible if I get a bit of luck with the direction of the wind. And yeah, I'll give it a go and hopefully, yeah, get a good time, and hopefully the shoes will do well and I'll be able to review them back at the house. I'll do a bit of footage of me en route and also at the park, but I'm not going to do any race footage today. I'm going to concentrate on racing. It's too windy anyway, so it'd be too noisy, I think, to get proper footage anyway. So yeah, hopefully that'll be good, and I'll review the shoes when I get back. I know a lot of you have either got these or were thinking of getting them. I'm not quite sure because of the price, basically, and they're not easy to get hold of, as you know. So I'll do what I think is an analysis on the shoe and whether they're actually worth the money or not. And based on me being a kind of 4 foot lighter kind of runner, I'll see how they get on. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Wish me luck. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's hard to appreciate actually how windy it is out here if you're not in London or UK at the moment. It's really windy. I just ran from my house to the tube. This is this one, Totteridge and Whetstone. It's roughly about 2 hours before start time, so it takes me a bit over an hour to get there, so I think it's pretty good. Anyway, I'll catch you in a minute. Bye-bye. So I've arrived at Battersea Park. Got about 40 minutes before the start of the race. So quick catch up, and then I'll go and get my race pack and everything. It's very windy today. God knows what it's going to be like out there, but I'm going to have the best shot with my Alphaflys on, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Right, so I've arrived. This is my mate Graham. Hello, Graham. Hi, Graham's a brilliant photographer, aren't you, Graham?
Well, I try.
And you're just getting into video, is that right?
Yeah.
And yeah, he's done loads of athletics meets, haven't you? Like, yeah, so like pictures and videos. And so you might have heard of him. He's in the Hertz Facebook group, aren't you?
That's right.
You do a lot of yeah. So Hertfordshire, basically, yeah. So anyway, we're here, well, trackside. This is where I'm starting. I'm going to give it my best shot. I've got my buddy here, so I can't let him down. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Not the best in terms of wind, but I'm not going to moan. It is what it is, isn't it, Graham?
Aye, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you do. That's
Everyone's got the same wind.
Life as a runner. Just got to get on with it. Anyway, see you later. Bye.
See you guys.
very windy. It's really hard going at times, but shoes did well. Alphaflys really, you don't notice you've got them on. They're really, you get a really quick turnover in them. As I keep saying, moaning, not been feeling great, and I can feel it last night. And to get in the 35s today was pretty good for me, and these shoes helped. Nearly caught the winner as well. I was so close, he just outsprinted me at the end. We had a bit of a lead coming into the stadium. Footage of that, but you'll see how old I am by that sprint finish. I'm pretty sure he was a bit younger than me. But all in all, great event. Battersea Park, brilliant course for running. Had to go down 4 times, so it was a smaller loop than normal. Nice finishing and starting on the track. That's a nice touch. Recommend this race a lot. So, and Alphafly 3's spot on. I'll look forward to running in these when I'm feeling a bit better. Maybe I might even win a race. You never know. See you later. Bye bye. So finished the Battersea 10k, got second place. Graham took some great pictures, and there you got the power station in the background. Amazing place actually. They've regenerated this whole area, and it's become quite a place to be, place to live around here. And you've obviously got nice boats and Thames in the background. But race went really well today. Getting second is beyond what I thought I was capable of. Very windy, not PB, 35, 50 something, 53 I think it was. My PB is still like 35, 30, but did all right. And where is it? Hang on a sec. There you go. Little trophy as well. Second male. Anyway, see you later. I'll do a proper review when I get back. Back at home. Yeah, I've got some race footage as well because of my mate Graham. Bye bye. Pretty mental around here. That was a bit of a extreme workout going on. Not for me though. I've run a 10k, I ain't doing that. Yeah. Very Christmassy. So I'm finally home after that 10k, which I finished second, which for me is first time I think ever in one of these like legit races that I've ever finished on the podium. Normally most I've ever done is 4th place, so very happy about that. Not a PB today, I didn't expect that in this weather. Plus I'm moan again, sorry. I'm still feeling under the weather, so I had a bit of a race with the winner at the end, which I lost. But I gave him a run for his money, so he was quite a bit younger than me, I think, so to be expected. Alphafly's 3's really good today. Really, best thing I can say about them is I didn't notice them too much. They kind of allowed me to cruise and set a good tempo, a good pace, without really having to think too much about them. Very stable. perfect for my 4-foot strike, sorry. I got a nice bounce, nothing too ridiculous, but the AirPods, I was engaging the AirPods, I could feel that. It was just a bit too windy to get a PB today, and maybe next time. But yeah, all in all, thought it was really good. And hopefully I'll wear them again. I'll either wear them or the Edge when I do the Battersea Park 5k in a couple of weeks, and I'll be going for my 5k PB and hopefully trying to break 17 minutes for the first time, which is going to be a big ask, but I'm going to give it a good hopefully it'll be a bit better. Moaning again, sorry. And then you know, hopefully I'll have it within me to try and do that, but we'll see. I'm not feeling at my peak at the moment, so I'm not overly confident, but I'll give it my best shot. But Alphafly 3s, very impressed with them actually. Far more impressed than I thought it was going to be with them. Definitely going to be a shoe that I take on a half marathon. Not decided about marathon yet, maybe. But yeah, very fast shoe. Encourages fast turnover. Very light, but cushioned and responsive. Anyway, see you later. Bye-bye. Hi everyone, it's Ed from Runnable. I finally got to race in the Alphafly 3s, something that I purchased recently, and I want to give a kind of overview of how that went. You may have already watched some of the footage, so you know that actually it went quite well with this shoe, but I'll go over a few of the things I liked about the shoe, things I didn't like about the shoe, who I think the shoe would be good for, and generally some of the competition around, you know, that's around that can compare to this shoe. So just a quick kind of stats around the shoe. So my UK size 9 came in at 220 grams. So it's a light shoe. It's not the lightest. It's not as light as the Sky or Edge Paris, for instance, which are a good 30 grams lighter. But it is a very light shoe, and you feel how light it is when you put it on. It's got a 40 millimeter stack height in the heel, 32 in the forefoot, giving you that 8 millimeter drop. I feel like it feels slightly less than an 8 millimeter drop to me. It feels more like a 7 or a 6 even, but still, that's the measurement. So for those that care about that kind of thing, 8 millimeter drop. It's got a mesh woven upper in this kind of booty style fit. I really like this actually. If those that have I've had the first version of the Alphafly and that fit really well for me. This is very similar in that respect. Very light, clings to the foot. It's got a decent amount of space in the forefoot. I didn't have any issues there. Lockdown was good. I think one of the best uppers going actually. It's up there for me with the Endorphin Pro 4 as one of my favourite racing day uppers. The laces are really good, you get a good lockdown, you can cinch them tight and they stay in place. Didn't have any issues there, didn't have any issues with the heel. You can see the counter is kind of semi-rigid, which is how I like it actually. I don't like it too rigid and I don't like it too loose. This is just about perfect. I had no heel issues whatsoever. Got a nice little bit of padding around, you know, the heel collar here, but nothing too extreme. Again, the way I like it. So upper, foot, you know, top marks for me. I think it's a great upper and one of the best going. Very breathable as well, by the way. So on hot days, not like yesterday was hot. I think on hot days this would be really good as well. The only downside actually is it gets dirty. You can see a little bit of this muddy area here. And there's not a lot you can do about that. I've tried to clean it and it doesn't clean very easily, this material. So over time, this is going to get a bit messy, I think, a bit mucky. You just got to accept that. It's, you know, I mean, these shoes are quite nice, clean at the moment. I think it's going to be a bit depressing as they get worse and worse, but that's just part of having a running shoe that you're going to use a lot, particularly racing. And you can't, this time of year in particular, you can't guarantee that they're not going to get filthy. So that's the upper. The outsole, pretty good outsole actually, but I To be fair, I land around where the pods are, so I'm getting the benefit of all this, thick rubber and this grip here. It's got nice treads. I had no issues whatsoever slipping or sliding, and it was wet, lots of leaves, wet leaves, and I had no problems whatsoever. I do feel though, those that are more mid-foot landers or heel landers, you're going to have less coverage there, and this is going to degrade a bit more. It's already starting to crease here, you can see for me. So if you land there, with force, I think this is going to degrade quite a bit over time. So just bear that in mind. I think for me, I will keep these for racing, and I won't do lots of long training runs with these. I'll keep them because as I'll go on to talk about, this is maybe becoming one of my favourite shoes already, but we'll talk a bit about that later. Midsole, ZoomX foam, don't need to talk any more about that. Kind of very nice, bouncy, responsive, light. It's a great foam, and it's been around for a while now. There aren't too many foams out there that actually, I think, compete well with the ZoomX. I think Hoka's foam is a possible competitor, I think, in terms of best foams. Also the FF Turbo Plus that's in the Sky Paris and Edge Paris, but it is definitely still one of the best foams going, and the midsole with the pods works so well for me. I land exactly here and I compress the pods and they give me a nice little spring forward, nothing too dramatic. So I was thinking when I was running, I was thinking it's not like the Prime X, for instance, which really launches me forward, but this does give me a nice roll through and a quick turnover, and the geometry of the shoe works for me. I think the way I would describe it is, for me to run fast in this shoe, I don't have to put as much effort in as I do a lot of the other shoes. It just flows very nicely. So in that race, I was actually running quite fast for me, but it didn't feel like I was running fast. And now and again, I check my watch to see what my pace was, because I was thinking, I'm not really feeling it here. I'm not really going that fast. And I'd look and I'd be surprised at the pace, and I think, really? And I think that's down to the shoe, actually, and how easy this is to run in. And sometimes when you have these shoes that really spring you forward and you feel the plate and you get that massive propulsion, I feel like sometimes you feel like you're going faster than you actually are. Well, this is kind of in the reverse. I don't feel like I'm going fast in this shoe, but I am. And I think that's because I'm turning over quickly, and it's given me a nice kind of way of running that suits my style. Obviously, it's got, like all the shoes, it's got a carbon plate, full length, and I did feel like I was engaging that. But for instance, like the Sky Paris, I feel like I engage that plate a lot more than I do this shoe. I feel like with the Sky Paris, and lots of people say that that's a firmer foam. To me, I didn't feel that. I felt like this maybe was a touch firmer. And I think it's actually because I'm landing on the pods. And some people, if you land on just where the foam is, the Zoom X is, you're going to feel it's quite cushioned and bouncy and soft. But I'm landing here, which is a bit stiffer. So for me, the Sky Paris is actually a bit more softer and bouncier than this shoe. But I feel like this shoe is potentially more efficient. Now, the real interesting thing for me will be the edge in this shoe over short distances, like 5 to 10K. Because I think it's between those shoes for me, which is the fastest. But we'll see. I'm digressing a little bit. But like midsole, I thought was fantastic, but it does work for me. I'm a 4-foot striker. I land exactly where the pods are. So for me, this is a brilliant shoe in that respect. The geometry works superbly for me. So things I liked about the shoe. So in the race, I already mentioned some of this. It enabled me to have a quick turnover without seemingly putting too much effort in. So I wasn't feeling well, sorry, moaning again. I haven't been for a while now. And I didn't have to exert myself too much to run quickly in this shoe, which for me is a sign of a good shoe, okay? So that would be my number one like. And number two, I'd say the upper is one of the best uppers going. It looks like it shouldn't support your foot particularly well. There's not a lot of structure here, but I had no movements left or right at all. It just works. It's, you know, Nike have come up with a brilliant upper here that's both breathable, easy. It's a lot easier to get on actually as well than the first version. It's still a bit tricky, but it's much easier. That was one of my annoyances of the first version. You know, when you've got your running shoes in the bag in your car and it's wet outside, so you want to put them on in the car. The Nike Alphafly ones were almost impossible to do that without opening the door. Well, I can do that in these, so that's a bonus. So I think the upper is a slight improvement on that first version. Actually, I haven't tried this. Well, I've tried the second version, but I didn't keep them, so there's no comment on that. So upper, I've already talked about midsole. I think it's great midsole, and the pods work for me. And the full length carbon plate, I didn't feel like I was engaging it and get a nice spring from this shoe. I think the grip's fine. It's not like up there, I don't think, with Continental grip, but I think it's still a very good rubber that they're using here, and I had good traction and good grip on the ground this shoe, and there were some challenging parts to that race. But I would say on the outsole, the durability is one of the areas that I'm not sure about. So I'm going to put that in the maybe don't like area. I'm not convinced still that this is the most durable shoe. I think it's more durable than previous versions. And it's definitely more durable than the Vaporfly. But I still feel like if you're going to start using this for long runs, this is going to wear away pretty quickly, this exposed area. So I would keep this for racing. So and it's quite an expensive shoe for just racing. So that's my other dislike. What is it, £289 for a shoe is just clearly too much. It should be £250 or below. I like the price point that Asics have got, the 220. I think that's, you know, it's still high, right? But I think that's a fair price point. I feel like this is way too high. And the availability issues of this shoe is just annoying, let's be honest. So people like me never got a chance to race to London or Chicago or Berlin Marathon in this shoe because I couldn't get it. So, you know, Nike need to sort that out really. Pricing and availability. They need to, and they won't do anything about the pricing because everyone's buying these shoes still. They sell out in minutes because it's perceived that they are the best shoe. And with my first race in them, I can see why. It wasn't my first run in this shoe actually, and that was to Ali Pali, and there's a video on that. I didn't like this shoe at first, but when the foam just broke in all of a sudden, and I started engaging the pods more, and then it became a completely different shoe. From the start of that run to the end of the run, it felt like a completely different shoe. So it just shows you how your first impressions can change. So, but anyway, the pricing obviously is the downside for me. The other downside for me is you can see already the prints coming off. I guess Nike can improve the production of these. This kind of thing really shouldn't happen. They should use better paint or whatever it is they use. You can see some bits of glue occasionally. It's not too bad actually, but it's not the best. So I feel like the quality side could be improved with this. If you're going to pay £289, you want top quality. And I think some of the other shoes that I've got are slightly better build than these. But that's it really. Apart from that, I can't really fault the shoe. Who's the shoe for? I think it's going to suit 4-foot strikers the most. I've heard that this is a better shoe than some of the previous ones, the heel striker, because the transition's a lot smoother because you don't have the gap in between. So there doesn't feel like two out midsoles. It feels like one big midsole. So the transition is smoother, and I can see that. But I still feel like this is a shoe that's going to suit 4-foot runners the most, and particularly people like me who land just where the pods are. I kind of land near the front of the pods actually. Might even suit people who land a little bit further back than I do, but still it felt really nice and smooth to run in. If I had to use a word to describe this shoe, it wouldn't be bouncy or propulsive or all those kind of, it'd be smooth. This is a smooth shoe. It's a smooth criminal, right? And I felt it was just so easy to run in this shoe. And so that I feel like 4-foot strikers are going to get the most out of this shoe, but I think it's an accessible shoe now for all of foot strikes. Just be wary of the exposed foam here and how you might wear it down if you're landing in this part, okay? There's a lack of rubber coverage on the heel as well. So I imagine heel strikers, you're going to wear this down a lot sooner than anyone who lands around here, okay? Competition, I've already mentioned Edge Paris, Sky Paris, Endorphin Elite. They're the few that spring to mind. Cielo, again. I feel like I'm absolutely love this Cielo. It's my favourite shoe to run in. It's so fun and it's such a lovely shoe, but I feel like this is the quicker shoe. Not much, but it is a quicker shoe. It's not as nice a feeling shoe as funner shoe, but it is a quicker shoe, I think, for me. I think the Edge Paris is a quicker shoe, and I think the Sky Paris is a quicker shoe than Cielo. In terms of compared to this shoe though, this is right up there with the Edge, and I will be taking this on a few 5Ks, comparing it with the Edge, because I think it's very close. My gut says the Edge is quicker because it's lighter for those short distances, but it's a close call actually, and I think Sky Paris may be comparable to this as well. So that's kind of my review. The race, you've seen the footage, hopefully it went really well for me. I was very happy. I've been a bit down recently with this cold, and generally I come down after the marathons, but for me that was, better than I ever hoped to come second in a race like that, with there's quite a few good runners in there, and to get under 36 minutes for a 10K is always, I was going to say it's always a goal of mine. It's, often it's not achievable for me, but to do it in those kind of conditions, I was blown away, literally blown away, get it? I was literally blown away. There were points in that race where it was so strong coming at me, or even to the side where it was moving me across the track. So it was some of it was on the track, by the way, the end, start and end, and the in between was around the park. And actually it was those parts around the park that was the windiest, because I had no protection. And you'd literally be trying to run in a straight line like that, and it would be moving you. The wind was so strong, it'd be moving you left or right, depending on which side of the park you were on. So it was a bit weird. It felt a bit weird. I had some branches crash behind me, and I'd hear this big noise. I'd look round and I'd see this big branch on the floor snapped into bits. So there was a bit hairy in places. I couldn't quite catch the leader. I was closing on him. He took a bit of a lead into the stadium at the finish, and a younger guy than me, and he just kept, I came at him, but he had that acceleration at the end that I couldn't match. It was the second out, second behind him in the end. You'll see that on the run footage if you haven't watched it. And thoroughly nice guy, so we had a good chat at the end. And generally, that Battersea Winter Fun Festival, a run festival even, it was fun, but it was actually called Run Festival. It is a great 10 5K. There's a 3K kids race as well, so if you've got children, you can bring them along and they can do the 3K. But all in all, fantastic event, loved it to bits, got a little trophy, and really enjoyed it. And hopefully you'll enjoy this video. But thumbs up for the Alphafly even 3. I wasn't sure I was going to like this shoe, and I was resenting buying it, but in the end I am glad I bought it actually, and it's a lot better than I expected it to be. So if you are on the fence, this is a positive review shoe. Review from me, being a 4-foot striker, someone who's quite light. You know, I'm around the sort of 63 kg mark. This shoe definitely suits me. It gives me good turnover. It's very light. It's a nimble shoe. It looks big, but it feels nimble on your feet actually. And it's comparable, like I said, to the Edge and Sky Paris. If you're weighing it up, I think there is a decision to be made there. I think this is potentially something I would take longer distance, half marathon, marathon, whereas I may not the other two, particularly the Edge. I'm not sure I would the Edge. So this could be a more versatile shoe that you could use across more distances than those, I think. That's all I want to say. Hopefully you'll like this video. My friend Graham Smith, I'll include his Instagram handle at the end of this video. You can see some of his stuff. He's an amazing photographer. Have a look at some of his pictures, what he does. He does it in his spare time. He's got a full-time job, but he's got, you know, you meet these people time to time. He's a mate of mine. They've got so much talent and you just kind of wish you had the same talent as them, but he sees things that I never see. And you'll see that in this video, that how much better it is than my normal videos, and that's because of his input. And hopefully, please Graham, I'll get him involved in more of my races and we'll have more of these style videos going forward. Anyway, I'll see you later. Bye bye.